Well, hello there, Generals B2, and we are going to check in with a little conflict of nations. Now, I'm going to start and I'm going to talk about the infantry officer, so stay tuned. So, as you can see, this map is quite a mess. And if I back out of it and show you the entire map, like this game has just been actually one heck of a game. Made an enemy and a friend at the same time, so I'm moving some troops out, but I've got some guys back down here. I don't want to click on the stacks because I don't want to show what's in those stacks because I don't want people to be able to stream snipe it. But just know if anybody gets close, they're going to get rocked, right? So I feel pretty comfortable with that amount of troops there, and there are more building in the cities because I don't want to be exposed, right? So first off, like we've finished off Africa in this game. For those of you that have been following, I have been playing Bolivia. So I get this question a lot, and you can see like look how much the smoke in here. This has all been done in the last 24 real hours. All these cities have been taken and done, and so really, if you look, we're getting ready to move in to Adana here. And I wasn't quite sure where to take my guy here, but if you look, I click on the stack, he's rocking about a 64.92, but it's because he's on the mountain terrain here, right? So if you look at it, it's just a mountains, and so you're going to end up being kind of handicapped. But on a regular level playing field, he's 100 unit strength. With 0% on the not morale, but 0% on you know what I mean. When you have too many in a stack, your efficiency goes down. That's what the words, B2 words. And so he's a 100 stack, man, which is pretty nice. But you can see the way I move through these cities here is pretty calculated. So I always take a MLRS, a rocket system, and launch it over at the city, and then what I do is I come back through here and I put one unit on it, right? Because there's not going to be anything in the city. There's not even a building anymore. Like it's just bad. Morale's at a 6. There's nothing there. The problem is I can't move anybody because the morale in the other cities is too low. A 23 here, a 26 there. We just took these cities. That's one of the byproducts of when you hit them with the rocket launchers. If you get them down too low, they just take a while to come back. But I didn't want to risk it. I didn't know it was down here. And if you look through these other cities, we should get a few popping out today with some morale, which is nice because then I can just kind of move forward. There's a 33. That'll be out. 34 is the level to hit the morale. But you can see I'm going to be close to a bunch of cities. The other thing I do is I grab an annex city, and I'm not going to show you where it is, but I'll pull more infantry out of those cities and send them forward. So these guys that have the little green lines here, those are more infantry guys moving forward to just cap cities. If you leave the city in this kind of shape, like let's pick on this guy, and this is just for the rogue, since there's a 16% chance right now that it's going to go rogue. The reason why is I'm pretty far from my HQ. I'm fighting everybody on the map, which is at war with 8 nations, 16. It's just kind of ridiculous. Civilian casualties caused. Like we just basically have rocked anybody in any city, right? So it's going to take a while for those cities to come back and go. I may actually forego the rockets for a while just because it's pummeling these cities down to 1s and 2s. And probably is not needed. So we'll take this guy and we're going to move him a little closer to the front because we're going to be moving towards like Mosul and those areas. Like I know that's a rogue one. It's going to have 2 rogues in there, so I can pop 1 round on it and then move my infantry in and have an advantage on there. So the goal for this one is really a sprint, to be honest. Like Poland was the head of that. Actually, HJJ was an enemy in this game, now turned friend, and he comes to the Discord and hangs out. A really solid player. Love having him run games for us. So pretty stoked about that. So let's take a look at this infantry guy. I know everyone's like, BT, you said it's going to be about infantry. All you talked about is morale and this other guy, HJ. So here it is, right? So when I click on him, it'll show you the stats. He's going to hit at a 7 on infantry, 5 on armor, a little bit of defense rating on both sides. Nothing flashy, but the real benefit is going to come up here where he's going to have a little bit of ground unit detection. He can cap and conquer territory, so I don't need an infantry guy with him. He'll just have to stay on the city till it caps. He can be airlifted for 2,000, which is pretty good. He's going to ignore entrenchment bonuses, so it's going to make your stack hit a little bit harder. Then on here, it's going to grant a 15 attack and a 15 defense with a 15% speed, right? So and a tank that's in there is going to have a 15% speed, which is nice. And then, of course, like you can only have 1 on the field. So if your stack is hitting at let's say it's hitting at an 80 already, and you add this guy into that stack, now he's going to be hitting at an 88, and for a 92, right? So he's going to give you a 12, a plus 12 on an 80 stack. Not flashy, but man, 15% is a lot. And with the speed on there, I really like them hooked in with like some tank units, right? So your infantry officer is going to be super, super, super valuable. So you can find these on the tab, on the research tab here with the star. And there's also, I've actually done a tank commander as well. Now, that's just a level 1 guy. If I was to look at him at max level here, commanding officer, I would personally need to be rank 75, so I can't use him. This is the highest I could go is amphibious, and if I look at these bonuses, you can see it looks a whole lot different, right? Now he's hitting at 11, but he's defending at a 15. If you pull in through the radar, is still the same, conquer territory. Now he can airlift for 10,000. That's 5 times at the 2,000 rate. It gets him to places faster. He can embark and disembark without the use of harbors, which is pretty cool. Radar detection's high, so that's nice. The storm position is the same. Now he has NBC protection. But he's granting a plus 45% attack to your stack. Like when these guys get rolling, you just you can't stop them. So again, and they're pretty easy to research. As far as cost wise, you can see that it's not super expensive. Battlefield radar. So if you come in now, his radar is going to be boosted to a 75. It's just kind of nice, man. They're really utility. When I stopped playing the game 2 years ago, these guys were not. They hadn't been introduced yet, and I absolutely love the fact that they brought them in, right? So again, like if I look at my tank commander now and I come through, it's not going to be super flashy, you know. There's not really a whole lot, but a speed here. But this guy has an attack of 20% for tanks and a defense on 10 with a speed of 15. But if I go out and look at him at the end level here. Requires rank 83. This one requires 64, so I can't even get that one. That's as high as I can go right now. You're going to be looking at his, let's see, a plus 45% attack on him and a 30 defense with a 20 speed. Like you can't lose with these guys, and they're not expensive to raise them once you research them. Now they are expensive to build. I'll warn you on that. Like if I come down to a city, let's just pop one open, and I come in. And say, look at the officers. Like this guy was, 4,950 components to make, and this guy was 2,800. But it's a little bit pricey, but you can see it's definitely worth it. I would say on the tank commander one, man, like that. If you had a stack of tanks with a 45% bonus, GG. Run some air support or some SAMs with them and pick up the speed bonus. You can move this guy through the map very, 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 very quickly. So I will definitely build this guy, no doubt, no diggity. I'm doing infantry already in Kananga, which is one of my other cities. You can see I keep a steady flow going. Let's see if I can build him over here, get him rolling. I cannot because why? I need a Army Base 3 recruiting 2, and this city is. Well, you know what? Let's just go ahead. No. I'm out of components, or supplies, so no worries. But yeah, I got these guys rolling. Now we got Canada taking up the top on Finland, Norway, and Sweden up here. We were knocking out this coalition. That was our biggest challenge. The problem is we're going to run into Myanmar here, who's definitely in the top, but he's a almost solo player. I mean, Japan's in with them in Ukraine, but Ukraine's getting ready to knock out. These guys were all part of this European coalition here, and we dismantled them, and they've kind of shifted alliances back and forth. But you can see 1 through. Spots 2 through 6 are definitely solidly locked up. Now, I just started pushing land. I was probably at about 500 a couple days ago, about 50 cities or so, but I had to get through Africa. I had pushed, they pushed me back. We decided to go after Poland and cut off. He was their leader, so I kind of dropped back, and then once they shifted, I ran through the rest of Africa again. Colombia helped me take out Saudi Arabia, and then, of course, you can see where I'm at here today, right? So GG, we're going to roll through the rest of this map. I don't expect it to be open more than about another 10, probably 5 real days, maybe, I would say. Like I'm going to call it, which is going to be about game day 75. I would imagine we can probably get this done in. So anyway, that's the first game. And then we've got this other game rolling around here that has been a pain in my buttocks. I'm going to load it up real quick and show you guys this before I do. I know I was talking about the officers, but I wanted to just show you this game as well. So nope, wrong game. It's another Bolivia game. I started with the coalition, and then the coalition got taken out, but they never came and touched me. So I've just been sitting there building and making a huge defense. So this will be the right game. This is up in Europe, and I played Ukraine, and you can see what a nightmare this game is right now. It's an absolute slugfest. Now, Russia's been getting taken out, so we decided to preemptively run out and grab some land and some cities because Japan's going to take Volgograd. So I took Rostov, and I'm going to make a move to get some troops out to go to Voronezh, but I have a feeling Japan will get there before me. I'm just going to try and take some land. Norway was actually in our coalition and joined us. He was already attacking Sweden, so I was like, hey, you need to work it out with Germany because I didn't want to fight Germany. I wanted to go east and have Germany go west, right? So he joined us and then didn't try to work it out and then kept moving troops into the other towns. So we booted him out, and then he recruited Spain and Italy, and then had Spain and Italy come after us. But we've got his gas town up here, Kirkenes, and then we went to the market and try to buy out all the gas we could to make it expensive. So you can see they're trying to sell gas to him. We keep buying it off the market because he just can't build units or do his towns, right? So Kirkenes is his gas town. We're going to come down here through the rest of these towns to make sure he's starving on resources. But you can see with my choppers here that that we just kind of keep in touch. So it looks like he did. Oh yeah, so there's definitely alerted me that there's some troops over there, so I'm going to move them back. I went into the patrol and he attacked that patrol. So he's got some troops coming. We're going to patrol over the city and kind of draw back because we know he's got some tanks up there. But see how that worked. I could look in the event log. I've already done 2 runs on him, but look at this Gulf of Bothnia. He's got some sort of ship down here firing on us too. So a pretty smart player, man. I'll give him that. Like he's definitely a smart player. But we're gonna have these guys run our ships through. I'll just get on Discord and let them know. But it'll take us a while to get through this guy. He's smart. I think he's golden a little bit too. But that's part of the game. So anyway, it showed you a couple of the games. I got a couple new games. I'm running 6 right now, which I said I wasn't gonna do. But a couple of guys from the Discord were like, "Come on, B, let's play." So. We'll take a look at the stats one last time. See where I'm at. Got 8 coalition wins, 4 solo wins. So batting about, 20% on games that we actually have a victory on. But never really understood the coalition and getting guys together to run some games together, and playing with your friends and whatnot. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Let's play some Conflict of Nations and let's see you soon.